morning, Meadowview. I'm Trina.
And I'm Sienna.
It's Wednesday, November 12th, 2014.
And this is Meadowview News.
First off, we would like to apologize for not having the news the past several weeks due to technical difficulties.
But we're glad to be back and we're ready for a new week and a brand new way of broadcasting.
That's right. We hope you enjoy not having to use those old tube TVs, and credit goes to Mr. Wright and mostly 8th grader Shane Donaghy.
Shane is very talented, and his ideas are the reason that you're watching the news like this.
Now, on to the news. Yesterday was Veterans Day, which meant no school. Hope you enjoyed it.
Also, don't forget, picture retakes are today, so if you're planning on retaking them, report to the South Media at the appropriate time. This week's weather forecast is looking to be partly cloudy with some rain later in the week. It's going to stay mostly in the low 50s and upper 40s, so be prepared with some warm clothes.
Remember, with cooler weather, we usually see the common cold popping up. Once again, be sure to wash your hands regularly.
Over the weekend, the Ducks faced off against Utah and won 51-27.
The Beavers played against the Washington State Cougars and lost a close one, 39-42. It is now time for this week's Power Paw winners. The K-5 Power Paw winners are Jordan Almond, Kelsey Merriam, and Min Tran.
6-8 Power Paw winners are Amanda Walter, Megan McCoy, and Jenna Buckley. This week's Star Bus Award winners are Nehemiah Nance, Sabia Ansa, Leo Velasquez, Morris Johnson, Jordan Dean, Easton O'Leary, Sky Guzman, Hunter Dalton, Reef Zwink, Sophia Doyle, Nathan Worley, and Sierra Schmidt.
Keep demonstrating those good behaviors on the bus. You may collect your prizes in the front office after our broadcast.
This week's life skill is effort. Effort means to try your hardest even if it is new, hard, or different.
Demonstrate effort this week to get Power Paws. As the year keeps on progressing, don't forget to keep trying your best and showing your best effort.
Study hard for those tests and quizzes, and remember, have fun with it.
As the canned food drive continues, keep bringing on in those cans to help your class win a party.
And don't forget, it's for a good cause, so help out. Many needy families will appreciate your giving.
To encourage giving, many classrooms are challenging each other, and Mrs. Case and Mr. Bolden will be awarding the top 3 giving classes with the party.
Last day to bring in cans or money is this Friday.
This Friday after school, Miss Weaver will be holding a GOB study session, and a week from then, November 21st, will be the all-day GOB contest.
Don't forget to sign up if you're a 4th through 8th grader. Chess Club will be held in Miss Campbell's room on Monday from 2:30 to 3:30.
Come by if you're just learning or you consider yourself a chess champ.
You Are Awesome leadership meetings are Mondays 2:30 to 3:30, and the You Are Awesome meeting open to all middle schoolers will be held on Wednesdays 2:30 to 3:30.
Finally, Brain Bowl is coming. This is a Jeopardy-type trivia contest, and if you are interested and good at trivia, come by next Monday, the 17th.
We are pleased to announce October's Life Skill Award winners. In Mrs. Witten's class for effort and responsibility is Jason Schrom. Also in Mrs. Witten's class for effort and responsibility is Rianne Lofton. In Mrs. Weaver's class for responsibility is Cole Hicks. In Mrs. Waters' class for effort and responsibility is Sophia Carey. In Mrs. Hardwick's class for integrity is Bryn Smith. In Mrs. Saslin's class for responsibility and respect is Sky Guzman. In Mr. Wright's class for integrity is Josh Sawyer. In Mrs. Wood's class for effort is Katie Gale. In Mrs. McInnes' class for effort is Sarah Connolly. In Mrs. Newton's class for effort is Kimmy Smith. And in Miss Bauman's class for cooperation is Jordan Pleward.
In Mrs. Wells' class for responsibility and cooperation, Min Tran. In Mrs. Manley's class for integrity, Nella Zwink. In Mrs. Mosher's class for caring and cooperation, Megan McCoy. In Mrs. Pett's class for effort, Savannah Stanley. In Mrs. Menardis' class for responsibility, Aaron Reeder. In Miss Jessie and Mr. Dillow's class for effort, Danny Adabo. In Mr. Irvine's class for responsibility and effort, Mika Trouts. In Mrs. Farsick's class for responsibility, Joelle Buckley. In Mrs. Simmons' class for effort, Jocelyn Rink. In Mrs. Shimmer's class for respect, Wyatt Wright. In Mr. Stevens' class for caring, Deanna Bailey. In Mrs. Trammell's class for cooperation, Eric Tillotson. In Mr. Bauer's class for effort, Alexa May. In Mrs. Ellie's class for
Ellie.
responsibility, Ethan Pham.
That's all for this week.
Have a spectacular week, everyone, and remember to
Manage yourself, respect others, and take care of our school.